Have you ever wondered why we never stick to our trading rules? Like, we know why we've taken losses. We know how to improve as a trader. However, we have this mental battle between ourselves, and I like to call it a mental gymnastics between ourselves where we know exactly what's stopping us from being successful. Like, have you ever placed a trade and you know you didn't follow your rules? The trade just doesn't go in your favor. And you're like, bro, why did I place that trade? Because I have. I've been in that situation. And I've been in situations where I've literally written down rules and I just don't follow it. Especially when I've taken a loss, it's at that crucial moment where I am literally debating whether to place another trade or just to leave the markets alone and take the L. And guess what I do? I end up placing another trade, end up either losing my account, blowing prop firm challenges, or just losing more money in the markets. And the thing is with us as traders is we don't have someone to tell us, hey, you need to focus, or hey, you need to go back to work, or hey, you need to do XYZ. We don't have our own KPIs. Instead, what we have is ourselves. And naturally, as humans, we are not good when working within ourselves, right? How many years have you told yourself that you need to go to the gym? How many years have you told yourself that you're going to get rich? How many times have you told yourself that this year is my year, right? We always tell ourselves that, right? The thing is, we keep telling ourselves these same things every year, every day, every month, but we don't act upon it because we have mental gymnastics in here. And in this video today, I'm going to explain exactly what mental barriers that most traders have. And I'm also going to explain how to have solutions to these problems, because this isn't just a problem. This is an illness. This is something that we all have and we all captured throughout our years in life, in school, to university, to work, right? We all go through this because naturally as humans, we are programmed in our brain to literally follow orders and to follow what other people say. You might have noticed when your boss tells you that you need to do overtime, even though you hate it, you will still do it. Or your teacher told you that you have to do this homework or it's going to make you lose your exam by the end of this year. Psychologically, you are now telling yourself, I have to do this homework. And the thing is, we don't do the same thing when it comes to business, i.e. trading, and we end up losing money. We end up giving up. Like, have you ever noticed that the statistics of traders that actually give up or fail is so high? Like 90% of us either fail or give up. Why is that number so high? It's not because we're stupid traders. It's not because we don't have a winning formula. It's because we have this mental barrier stopping us from being successful. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Moby. I've been trading for half a decade now with more than 1,000 trades in my book with more than 71% win rate. And not only have I been able to help myself, I've actually helped multiple traders get to the level that they want to get to. And in this video today, I want to break down exactly what mental barriers that we have as traders and how I was able to overcome it. You see, the thing is, I have also been in the same situation as you. I have also been in that situation where I've taken a loss and I know exactly why I've taken a loss, but I'm confused. I don't know why I'm not following my rules. I don't know why I just don't do the things that I need to do. And it's not because you're dumb. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you are different from others. It's not because you're not the special one. You're not the chosen one. It's literally because you just don't have the guidance. And so by the end of this video, not only are you going to have A, the guidance to know exactly what you're going to do, but B, we are going to make a contract between ourselves that, hey, we need to do this every single day in order to be successful. And if we don't do this, there is going to be some sort of consequence. And I'm going to let you know by the end of this video what kind of consequences you guys should have and what I have done to give myself consequences so that I can do things. You see, the first issue that most traders have is that we know what issues we have. Like, we know why we need to go to the gym. We know why we need to eat healthy. We know why we need to do XYZ. The thing is, we know everything. We don't have lack of information. We don't have lack of knowledge. We know exactly what the issue is. Now, for me, for example, for trading, I knew that greed was a big issue for me. I knew that I revenge trade. I knew that I have such a big ego that the market is going to eat up my money. And so I knew these issues, but I didn't know how to solve them. I didn't know how to make these issues go away. And so what I used to do is I used to just tell myself, oh, it is what it is. I'm just going to become mechanical. I'm going to turn into a robot and I'm not going to have emotions when trading. And that's what most people tell you. Like, don't have emotions when you trade. The thing is, how can you tell a creature that has emotions to not be emotional? Like, how can you tell another person to just cancel your emotions? It's never going to work. It's literally setting us up for failure. And so when I was trading and I'm placing trades, trades and I'm like, okay, no emotions, no emotions. Like, I'm going to be strict with myself. I'd have these set of rules and then I end up looking at my rules. I'm like, hold on a minute. Why am I still losing? Oh, it's because there was a moment where all hell's loose and I just didn't follow anything and boom, everything goes. And you probably been in that situation too, where you've placed a trade, you're following your rules and then boom, something happens, something triggers it. And then suddenly now it's all a spiral to you either losing money, losing your prop firm challenge, or just blowing your account as a whole. Because we're told that we shouldn't have emotions. We're told that, listen, like, you know what you're losing, you know why, you just need to do the opposite of it. But the issue is, if we do the opposite, we're actually losing ourselves. We're losing who we are, and we're losing the attachment between the love that we have for trading. Because imagine you're having fun in trading and you're actually enjoying the process, but then someone tells you, listen, you can't enjoy. Listen, you gotta be robotic. Listen, that you have to literally be a robot, a machine in this game. What happens? You start losing the drive to trade. You start forgetting why you even traded in the first place. Why did we trade? Why are we trading? We traded for freedom. We traded to get from A to B as fast as possible. We traded to be successful. But how are we going to be successful if we don't even enjoy the game, the craft, the process? So many of us have been told to not enjoy the process. So many of us have told ourselves that, listen, this is just how it is. We got to be going through pain. We got to go through war. And yes, you do, but you got to enjoy the war. You got to enjoy the pain. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're going to get one, burnt out, and two, you're just going to give up. Because there's nothing holding yourself to this. There's nothing holding yourself to the outcome. There's nothing there anymore for you to be successful. And because we know why we're losing, it becomes a mental battle between ourselves. We start fighting within ourselves. And guess who ends up losing? It's us. It's me. If I fight within myself, I'm going to lose. And that is probably one of the most frustrating things us traders have to go through. Because we know why we're losing. We know why we have revenge trading. We know why we blown accounts. We know why we full ported that prop firm. We know, but we just don't know how to deal with it, how to manage that emotion. That's what the issue is. We don't know how to manage it. And so it comes to the point where it's like, okay, how do I manage it? How do I get to a level, Moby, how I can manage these emotions? Well, number one is you just don't shy away. You don't shy away from this XYZ emotion. If it's greed, it's revenge, whatever it is, you don't shy away from it. Instead, what you want to do is acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you have this emotion like greed, revenge, acknowledge it. And then this actually leads on to another issue that we have, is that we're always in survival. Have you noticed that when you're at work, you're always in this survival mode where you can't go to the toilet whenever you want to? You can't take as many holidays as you want to. We don't have the freedom. And if you are on holiday and the manager needs you, he will message you, or he or she will message you to get you on that shift, even if you're on holiday. Have you ever noticed that your work will pay you just enough to be at work, but it won't pay you enough to fulfill your trading journey or whatever business that you have? Have you noticed that? It's because we have been programmed to be in survival. That's what we've been programmed to be in. And so what separates us from the wealth, from the riches, from the people that are successful, is we need to stop being in this survival mode. Now, Moby, how on earth am I going to stop being in survival mode when I've got bills at the end of the month, when I've got food to pay for, when I've got all these different things to pay, debts? I've got education, I've got school, I've got university, I've got my parents to be proud of me, right? I've got a boss to please. Well, you need to understand none of this matters. And by the way, I'm just giving examples, but if you don't follow what your manager says, what's the worst that can happen? What, you lose your job? Fine, fair enough. What if I don't make my parents proud? What, are they going to disown me? No. Listen, your manager literally puts fear into you so that you stay in your lane. Your manager doesn't want you to be better than them. Your parents will always be proud of you. This is just subconsciously we have created these barriers. Subconsciously we have created this mental gymnastics in our brain. And so we have to break free from survival and understand that we're in a battle. We're not here to survive. Yes, we're all at war. And there's two types of people in war. There's the survival people and there's the people that take action. You got to be the action taker. You got to be the person that literally is I know what my steps are. You gotta be 5 steps ahead of everyone. You gotta know the process. You gotta know the end goal. You gotta know which direction you're going in. Because if you don't know which direction you're going in, you're never ever going to succeed, and you're always going to be in survival. Not by choice, but by the way you are, by the way you are programmed. There's a reason why such little people are successful. There's a reason why only 10% of traders even make it to the next step, which is having capital, which is passing prop firms, which is getting a payout, which is literally being successful. There's a reason why there's only such a small group of people. But let me tell you, this small group of people isn't 10, 20, 30. This small group of people is millions. It's millions. But we're programmed to feel like only 10 people are successful in this world. That's incorrect. There's millions of people that are successful. Go on TikTok, go on Instagram, you'll see there's millions of people successful. There's millions of people living the dream life that they want to live. There's millions of people reaching the goals that they have. The question is, why are you not doing this? And I have this conversation with my friends all the time. I'm literally asking myself, like, why am I not hitting 100K a month? Why am I not hitting the goals that I want to hit? I always ask myself, like, why? This is the thing, right? When you're in survival, instead of asking yourself why, you start blaming the things around you. My car broke down a few days ago. And I remember calling my friend and literally told him, like, bro, like, car broke down, I'm stressed. And he's like, bro, who cares? Who cares if your car broke down? It is what it is, move on. The thing is, because we're in such survivalness, it affects us in our trades. Because now, instead of us placing a trade and whatever the outcome is, we're whatever, doesn't matter how it is, right? Instead of us not caring about the end goal of the trade, we're now in the survival of this trade has to work. So what happens? We're too emotional and we end up losing the trade, and that's it. Spiral movements, triggers, boom. I start revenge trading, greed trading, FOMO. These things happen for a reason. So as soon as you start to subconsciously stop thinking that you're in survival, you stop thinking that, listen, this outcome of this trade, I could not care less of what happens. I could not care less if I lose or win this prop firm challenge. Once you stop thinking of these things, eventually things are going to be great. Things are going to be smooth sailing. And then what happens once we have this survival instincts? We start getting too attached to money. We start feeling like we need to be attached to this outcome, i.e. money. See, the thing about us traders is that our biggest issue is that we don't have to sell products, we don't have to go to work, or we don't have to do XYZ to get outcome of a paycheck. We have to put our money on the line to make more money, which is difficult, which is hard. Because some of us don't have money. I didn't have money when I started. I had like £100. That's what I had. But I had to understand that the game of trading has got nothing to do with money. And now some of you are probably thinking, what the hell is Moby talking about? Every trade I place, money's going up and down. What are you talking about, Moby? The thing is, I noticed with a lot of successful traders is that they don't look at money. Have you ever noticed, like, these successful traders be tapping their card, buy this, buy that, buy this, but they don't care. Why don't they care? It's because they understood that money is a tool, it's not an outcome, it's not the process, it's not the product. It's a tool that we have to understand. So when we're trading, it's not about the money. Some of us think that we have to go to prop firm challenges because we're bad traders already, but money somehow is going to be the solution. Listen, the solution is that you got to break free from the illness that you have created, which is attachment to money. The solution is understanding that money is not what makes the world go round. Money is the tool that gets you from A to B. Money is not going to give you happiness. Money is going to buy you what makes you happy. And once you understand this and you break free from this chokehold of attachment to money, you're going to understand that it doesn't matter if you miss a bill at the end of the month. They give you chances. It doesn't matter if you're in debt. It doesn't matter if you are going through multiple prop firm challenges. It doesn't matter if you just blown your account. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters, because guess what? The market continues to move. Everything continues to go. The world continues to spiral. Everything continues to go as it is. Nobody cares about your blown account. Nobody cares about anything. It's all in here. It's a mental gymnastics in our brain. That's what the issue is. So Moby, how on earth am I going to solve this issue? How on earth am I going to break free from the mental curse, this illness that we have? Well, what I've done throughout my years of trading, which is only 5 years, but what I've done to break through from this is very, very simple. It's certain activities that the wealthy people do that we should start implementing. And I remember sitting down to myself thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? Or what am I doing that people are doing to become successful? Like, what is the difference, right? And I remember applying for a job, and this was when I first blew my account and I needed more money, and I applied for this job, and I saw they make us sign a contract. Have you ever noticed that when you apply for a job, you got a contract and you have to follow this contract or you're going to lose this job? And I thought to myself, wait a minute, like when I'm trading, why don't I have a contract for myself? So that's what I did. I ended up writing a contract. I'm trying to find the book. I don't know, the book's somewhere else, but I had a book and I wrote myself a contract. And I remember telling my missus, like, listen, I am writing a contract to myself and I'm gonna sign it and you're gonna sign it. And when I need to make sure I follow everything that I write in this contract. Now, this doesn't have to be just trading related, right? But what I did was I wrote my trading rules that I have to make sure I follow. But not only that, I had like a system in place, like a routine and how I should be in life and how I'm going to get there. Because again, most of us already know why we're not getting to XYZ, for example, reaching 100K a month or reaching the goals to live in Dubai or reaching the success that we all have. And so I wrote everything down and I wrote it in a contract format and I told myself I gotta sign this. And every morning I'm gonna read this contract and I'm gonna set this as a goal that I have to do. It's like a manifesto. And this contract is binded and it's there for life. And I only make a new contract when I know that this contract has not either worked or B, I've got to the level that I need to get to and now I need a new contract, i.e. leveling up at work. And so what happens is I don't know, something happened in my brain is as soon as I made a contract, that's it now. I cannot change the game. I cannot now suddenly do things out of impulses. I got to follow the rules that I've created for myself. I got to follow what I have told myself. And now it's on contract. And do you know what I did? To make this contract even better, I put consequences. I told myself that, listen, if I don't do XYZ, I can't trade, number one. Another consequence that I had was that I won't be able to enjoy what I like doing. For example, playing basketball, to go to swim, to go to do simple activities. I just gave myself consequences. And I told myself that every time I don't follow my rules, and this is just something I personally did, but every time I don't follow my rules, I got to drop down and do 20 press ups. Like every time I don't follow something that I have to do, I drop down, do 20 press ups. If I have seen a setup and I was too shook to trade that setup and the setup went in my way, drop down, do 20 press ups. And you might think it's funny, but that's what I did. Now you can tell my arms are not that strong, so I haven't really been doing that many press ups recently, but that's because I've been following my rules. Now my rule should be, once I follow my rules, I should do 20 press ups. But the thing is you got to set yourself some sort of consequence that once you don't do XYZ, you have to do this. And you have to track this. You have to journal this every single day. Some of us are not journaling. Why are you not successful? Because you're not journaling. You're too lazy to journal. The same amount of time you put in the input, you should put in the output. The input is us placing trades. The output is us journaling that trade. Output is the data that the market has given us. It's either a win or a loss. It doesn't matter if it's a win or loss. We still got to output it. We still got to put in what has happened. And so once you understand this and once you have built this ecosystem and this system, now you know that the system works because you tried it, you put it into action, you wrote it down in your contract, you have tried this. What's next is understanding that the system works. Traders, the system works. It's not the system that's at fault. It might be A, unlucky trades, or B, is just the wrong time, or C, you're emotional right now and it just didn't work. But just understand that the system works. Don't try and change the system because you took one loss. Don't try and change the system because you took 10 losses. Bro, I have taken like 400 losses in the space of 5 years. Honestly, like I have tracked it. For the past like 4.5 years, I've literally been tracking everything. And I've seen that I've taken like 400 losses. Now, for some people, 400 losses is like, whoa, Moby, like what the hell? But that is sophisticated losses. I've tracked it. I understood and I improved. Every time I took a loss, I improved. You need to understand that some people think that, oh, after 10 losses, my system doesn't work. I got to go check out another system. No, the system works. You just need to put more time. You just need to be consistent. You just need to keep doing more because 10 losses doesn't mean anything. Now, yes, if you took 10 losses and you have blown your account, then you need to invest more and see if this system works. Yes, if you don't know how the system works, there's demo accounts, there's prop firms, demo trials or whatever it is, right? There's so many ways you can practice. Forward testing, back testing. You have to do this on a consistent basis to the point where you now know that this system works. And if you don't believe in your system, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Don't put your money on the line until you know that your system works. And once you understand that your system works, you now need to lose connection to money. Remember I said earlier that so many of us are attached to money? Well, Moby, how are we going to not be attached to money? Everything around me is money, 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 money. If I want to buy this pen, I got to pay for it in money. If I get wages, it's in money. So how can I not be attached to money? My bills are monetary. My debts are monetary. Right? How am I going to stop being attached to money? Well, in trading, start looking at things in percentages. I get asked all these questions. Oh, how much money did you make today, Moby? How much did you do this? How much did you do that? And I instantly know this person is either A, broke, or B, is going through their own mental battles. The thing is, with us traders, we don't treat this as a business. Have you ever seen a business say, hey, I made 10 million today? No. They say, hey, I made 10% gain from last year or last quarter. They use percentages. This is what the rich people use. Traders, you need to understand that these wealthy people, they have something in their brain. They have pre-programmed everything. Their thought process is not the same as us. Their thought process is different. And so these guys, I've noticed that they're using everything's in percentages. Everything is in percentages. Literally nothing is a figure. Everything is percentage. Percentage this, percentage that, this gain, this revenue, this, that, CRM percentage, or everything's all percentages. And so I thought to myself, let me implement this to my trading. Let me see if this works. And for the past 3 years, I have not looked at how much money I've made. I've just seen percentages. As long as I'm making 2% or 3% per day, I'm good. Or per trade, or I'm good. I'm good. It's that easy. Now it's up to you how much that percentage is. It's up to you how much you invest to get a better result afterwards. It's up to you. Because some of us believe that we're bad traders because of money. No, it's not. It's because of your mindset. It's because of the mental battle that we're going through. It's literally because of what we're going through. So in order for us to stop feeling like this, in order for us to stop having these mental battles, stop looking at percentages. And just a key tip for you guys that are going through mental battles day by day, losing prop firms, because I understand it's tough. I understand that just by listening to this video, you might not change dramatically straight away. It will take time. I get that. However, number one, do not trade after a loss. Just don't do it. Just scrap it. Think about the decisions you're about to make. If you lose in a fight and you go fight him again straight away without training, without actually practicing, without building the confidence, you're going to lose a fight again. So save yourself the embarrassment. Just don't trade. It's simple as that. Why do we trade straight away after losses? Because we're too attached to money. It's because our brain is programmed that when we take a loss, we got to try and make it back. That's what our brain is literally telling us to do. Make it back. You know the inner voice that we have? Oh, you lost this trade. You got to make it back. No, 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 no. We don't need to make anything back. We didn't lose this trade on a monetary basis. We lose this trade because of our skill. Our skill right now is not up to par. It's fine though, because we're going to figure out how on earth we're going to get there. So I hope now you understand exactly what mental battles we're going through as a trader. And if you haven't gone through these mental battles, it's actually good to be ahead of the game and understand that, like I said, to be a few steps ahead, don't be in survival mode. But if any of you are still struggling and you still don't understand why you're losing and you still don't understand what is the reasoning, right? What is the reasoning of me not being successful? You're lucky because I have just opened up a few more spaces to my one-on-one coaching session. You get a free trial where you get one coaching session where you sit down with me. You get your trades audited, we figure out what's going on, and we find out the key components of why you're not successful. Because we all have it in us. We all have success in us. We just need to figure out what it is. So if you're interested, click the first link in the description and fill out the form. Not only that, I'm not accepting no more than 10 students this month, only because I am one singular person. So if I was you, sign up right now, because most likely those 10 spaces are probably already gone. So give it a shot. If you really want a free coaching session with me and want to know how my students are all being successful, want to know how I became successful, and you want to sit down with me and have a call where I'm literally talking to you, where I literally answer every single question that you have, literally click the first link in the description. But guys, I hope you all understand now the mental battles that we go through, and I hope you understand what I implemented to become successful. Now, success is all relative, it's not real, it's all just in here, right? We're all successful already. We just need to redeem that code. That's how I like to think of it. So take this video as a redemption, like this video, comment down below any issues that you have, and I'm going to try and give you the solutions to it. So any mental battles that you're going through in trading, anything, comment it down below. I literally answer every single question in my comments. So literally comment it down below. But other than that, if you are not subscribed yet, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, like this video, and I'll see you in the next video.